So, what makes a man attractive to a woman? There's a lot of things, obviously, but we're going to narrow it down to five things, five essential human things. And those are your five senses. So, you have sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. And we'll go one by one on how you can improve on these areas so that you can attract the opposite sex. In sex, when you're having sex, you should be able to hit all of these points. You should be able to have sight that is inductive to pleasure. You should have sound, smell, taste, touch, all of those things, and activate them at once. And that creates that pleasurable experience. So when you're missing one of these, then it's like a scale system. Then you can actually judge where this sex goes from there. But in normal everyday life, where you're just not having sex and you're walking somewhere or you're entering a building or you go into a party, you can still activate these areas. And the more of these areas that you activate, the more chances that a woman is going to be attracted to you. For example, sight. So when you walk into a place, you want to stand tall. You want to move with purpose. You don't want to move erratically or crazy or skipping or hopping. You want to move with a purpose. You know where you're going, even if you don't. You just have to move that way. And you have to dress with intention. These are the easy ones for sight because it's a visual. So when you're walking from afar, that's the first thing they see is what you're wearing, how you're walking, and your demeanor, your posture. The next thing is the sound. So when you are approaching women that you like or want to meet or whatever it is, you want to purposely lower your tone, speak slower. And as you're speaking to them, speak with that purpose. And your purpose is what? You want to get their number. You got to have that set already in your mind what you want from this woman. You speak slower, you make that eye contact, which is still sight. Now your sound is resonating and you're confident in the words that you're using. The third thing is the easy one, smell. You obviously want to shower, you want to smell good, cologne. You want your clothes. This is a big one because I think sometimes you may be a clean person and you wear cologne and you do all of this, but you have to be aware that the clothes you wear, depending on the fabric, they could change smells. So I don't know, if it's happened, you're partying all night and then the next day, your friend's house all drunk and you may take a shower or something and you put your same clothes back on and they don't smell good, right? They're like, whoa, because all the alcohol or depending on, what you've been eating and you're up all night and you're sweating, it goes into that fabric and that fabric can amplify those smells. So you have to be really aware that what you wear can alter your smell. And obviously if you wear cologne, you don't want to put it on your clothing, you want to put it on your body. And that's why you look for colognes that are chemically balanced for you, because not all colognes are going to smell the same on all people. We all have different balances and different hormones and different pH. So that's the third thing is smell. The next one, the next two are very difficult because they need you to really be conscious of these, which is taste is the next one. Taste, how do you get someone you don't know to taste you? And the theory is this. When you walk into a restaurant or you walk into someone's house and they're cooking something delicious and you're hungry, you smell it, you can literally taste the food in your mind without tasting it physically. You can taste it. You know that what that smells like, whatever, depending on what they're cooking. So taste is very connected to smell. And obviously, you don't want to try to get her to taste you. And if you can do that, that's amazing. But it's going to be a crazy thing. But if she can smell a taste, then she can actually taste that in her mind. which leads me to the top of colognes because two of the most favorite fruits that women worldwide, generally speaking, like obviously every woman has a favorite fruit, but are berries or citrus, lemon, strawberries. So these are tastes that women usually like in fruit. And if you incorporate those smells into your cologne, then what you are doing is you're triggering another one of these elements of your senses, of her senses. And she says, she's not thinking about this consciously, but she can smell the strawberry, so she can smell the lemon. And whatever it is going to trigger, hopefully, a good reaction on her. So that's when you get that taste in there. Another way is if you are I don't know, drinking a glass of wine and so on, then you can actually start going deeper into the taste. Maybe you can, how you like the wine is it's a little bitter with a little bit of a strawberry, whatever the conversation goes, you want to steer those senses, you want to activate those. And the last one is the hardest, but not really, is touch. Because to touch means that you've already passed other levels of getting close to this person of space. And so it's tricky because you don't want to be abrasive about touch. You want to actually be careful about touch. Yet there are subtle ways that you can do that. For example, if you're meeting her or someone introducing you or you just saying hello, shake her hand. So when you shake that hand, you activate in touch. And don't just shake it and be, like you're afraid of her or that uh she's too much. Grab her hand, shake her hand like you mean it. Nice to meet you. Hold that hand there. Just just one moment extra. That's what makes it memorable. This? No. How are you? Nice to meet you. Wow, that's a great dress. Whatever it is, you see, don't let go of that hand. Don't be a creep and uncomfortable. Just an extra moment, just an extra touch. And sometimes, if she's really feeling you, you can keep going. So we'll go into each sense in a different episode, just specific to that sense. But that's how you get to activate all these five senses when you're meeting someone in the regular world. However, you may not be able to activate all five. That's why you always want to at least activate one or two. At least you want to activate that sense of sight or sound or something. If you can't get to the smell, taste, and touch, then you want to at least activate a couple of them everywhere you go. And then if you can activate four or five, then you have a big chance of making an impression on whoever it is that you're trying to make an impression on. Wanted to give you these tips because these are things that you can apply to your everyday life. This isn't something that you can do only at certain occasions or with a certain person. You should always smell good. You should always look good. You should always walk with pride and with a little purpose. You should always have those things. And you should always be aware that maybe you don't know, but people are watching you. And sometimes there might be a girl that's looking at you and you haven't seen her and she's already checking you out. So that's why you want to make it a habit of just always portraying yourself with the five senses ready to activate. And I hope this helps. If there's someone that needs to hear this because they don't get it, share this with them. It's not about putting people down, it's about leveling up and subscribe. And there's gonna be more of this. I'm going to break down the five senses, each one deeper into those because there's psychological elements to each one and triggers and why wearing certain colognes or certain colors triggers certain memories from certain women. We can go really deep into that. So make sure you subscribe to us. Stay tuned for that.